Welcome to the world of HeroQuest, a place unlike any other. I've noticed something strange. If I tell someone I spent 6 hours this weekend running through my neighborhood, they nod and say, "That's great, stay healthy." But if I tell them I spent those same 6 hours at my hobby desk, painting a miniature or building terrain for a dungeon crawler, the reaction is different. It's often a look of confusion, or worse, a subtle dismissal. Why are some hobbies acceptable while others are niche? Why is it easier to tell the world we're working on our physical health than it is to admit we're working on our creative happiness? Society is obsessed with measurable outcomes. We live in an era that worships productivity. Running is virtuous because it results in fitness. It's a health investment. It's a correct use of our time. But painting miniatures, that's often coded as indulgent because it doesn't result in a sculpted physique or a better bank account. Society labels it as play. And as a culture, we are taught that once you hit adulthood, play is something you're supposed to outgrow. Today we're going to talk about painting miniatures and how some people have a hard time accepting this about us. This is the Fair Weatherman. Welcome back to the channel. I'll be the first to admit, I spend a lot of time at my hobby desk. Painting miniatures long into the evening really does something for my mind. And it's a creative outlet that I feel most people our age don't have, or don't even wish to exercise. Physical hobbies are outward facing. You're in the park, you're in a race, you're part of a community. Painting is solitary. It's high focused, quiet, and inward looking. Because it isn't loud, people mistake that silence for a lack of social value. They don't see the mental meditation, they don't see the fine motor discipline, or the intense problem solving of turning a piece of cardboard into a fantasy castle. They see escapism, while ignoring the fact that every hobby is an escape from the stressors of the modern world. I want to talk about something that feels a little uncomfortable. How many of you have had someone come over to your house, take a look at your painting station, and you immediately feel a sense of embarrassment? You find yourself instinctively apologizing for your clutter, or worse, you quickly clear it away because you don't want them to think you're a kid playing with toys. Let's get into this. How many of you have a family member who's embarrassed by your collection? We feel this phantom shame. We treat our hobby like a secret, but here's the truth. What we are doing, painting, sculpting, and building, is the direct descendant of the most respected hobby of the 1950s and 60s, model railroading. Now stay with me here for a minute. Think about the mid-20th century. A man would spend hours in his basement, obsessively detailing tiny landscapes, wiring electrical circuits, and hand-painting scale structures. It was seen as a sign of industry, of patience, of a man's work. He wasn't told to grow up. He was invited to show off his layout to the neighbors. So what happened? Why did the train room become an acceptable space, while the miniature painting desk is something we hide in the corner? It's fascinating to look back at the 50s and 60s. Back then, a man with a room-sized model train layout wasn't just a hobbyist. He was a symbol of the American dream. He was industrious, with a sophisticated grasp of infrastructure, electronics, and craftsmanship. Society looked at the basement train room and saw a father teaching his son how to build a world. They saw a sign of middle-class prosperity and professional intelligence. Today we're doing the exact same thing. We're mastering color theory, anatomical sculpture, and scratch-building terrain from raw materials. We're applying the same patience, the same engineering mindset, and the same artistic eye as those train enthusiasts of the post-war era. We just decided that we didn't want to build a replica of the world we live in. We wanted to build the worlds we wish to visit instead. We have allowed ourselves to believe that if a model doesn't move on a track, it isn't serious. But think about the skill set. The model railroader wires circuits and building scenery. The miniature painter masters light, color theory, and anatomy. We've traded the basement layout for the hobby desk, but the mission is still the same. We aren't just painting miniatures or curating miniature museums of our own making. The shame we feel is a remnant of the culture that values function over expression. A train is useful because it moves. A miniature is useless because it just sits there. But that uselessness is exactly why it's art. It exists for the sake of beauty, not for the sake of transport. I think the real reason people get uncomfortable when we talk about our hobbies isn't about the hobby at all. It's about the fact that we have a second life that they don't have access to. When you spend hours mastering your craft, you've developed a depth of identity that doesn't rely on your job. And most people our age don't have those hobbies. Sure, someone might play a sport. Pickleball seems to be getting popular lately. But I'm just not into that. Sitting around watching TVs and movies are fun, but that's not a hobby to me. That's not something I want to do at the end of my busy day. So if you're out there painting, building, or rolling dice, don't let anyone make you feel like your time is less valuable than theirs. In a world of instant gratification and digital noise, choosing to spend time on something that you built with your own two hands is one of the most radical things you can do. So the next time someone comes over, I want you to try something. Don't hide the desk. Don't apologize for the mess. If they ask, tell them exactly what it is that you're doing. I'm working on a scale diorama. I'm painting up a box of miniatures to play a game with my son. Use the language of the 1950s hobbyists. So the next time someone asks you, why do you spend so much time on that? Be prepared to answer the question, but don't apologize. Tell them you're building something awesome. Tell them you're practicing patience in a world that forgot how to wait. Tell them it's something you simply love to do. Well, that's all I have for y'all today. Thanks for watching. And if you're proud of the time that you've spent putting into your craft, make sure you like, comment below, tell me what you're working on, and subscribe. Let's keep doing the things that make us happy. And if you really like this video, feel free to support my channel by clicking the link and finding out how you can buy me a coffee. Even your small donation will help me continue to create more content for you to enjoy. As always, danger, you'll soon discover, lurks in every shadow. Come, let the quest begin.